It's a sport that I love so much, and yeah, it's given me a lot. And it's great.
Gotten you an interview on this.
I mean, look at this. It's giving me cookie dough ice cream. It's giving me you. It's giving me it all.
Perfect. Niall, welcome to the Scoop.
Hello, it's good to be here.
So what'd we go with?
I went with cookie dough.
Are you a big ice cream guy?
Yeah. Every now and then, but yes, when I do, I can't stop eating it. That's the thing. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'd be like going to the freezer every night of the week, but I do like it.
Newly involved with Boston Common, how did this come to be?
It just kind of came around through Rory, you know, like Rory being Irish, being on the team, you know, me being Irish also, but also me working in golf and talking about how I want to grow the game all the time. And I feel like TGL is like the next great thing that's going to happen to the game of golf. Last year was obviously like the first time that more simulator shots had been hit than outdoors. Mm-hmm. So this is obviously where the game is going. And then Boston just felt like the perfect affiliation for me. Like there's always been like a massive thing between the Irish and the Bostonians, as you know. And it's every time I go to Boston, I just have like an amazing time. I always feel like I'm kind of nearly like at home. Minus the weather.
Fair.
but I always feel comfortable there. Like I'm just about to go there on tour, and I'm excited for that show. It was like the first show that sold out in my whole worldwide tour, and the Boston people just like get behind me.
We support you.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Of course. All right, so how did you, kind of a two-part question, become a golfer and then a golf fan?
Became a golf fan first. When I was a kid, it was so easy to get into golf. And Tiger Woods, watching him every night was pretty cool. He was so dominant when I was like 10, 11, that kind of age. That's how I got into watching it. And then I joined my local golf club when I was 12 with two of my friends. It was nice and cheap to join. I got a set of second-hand clubs and just started like religiously playing. Like in our summer holidays, we'd play like 2 rounds a day, 4 days a week, until the sun went down. It was like such a cool thing to get involved in, and then just became obsessed. Like from then on, I was just, this is it for life now.
Do you still play with those friends?
All the time. Literally, I live with one of them, so we still play a lot of golf, and yeah.
So we've seen your friendship with Rory.
Mm-hmm.
How do celebrities connect with players?
Mutual friend between myself and Rory. You know, I've known him for a long time, but the Irish thing, we always end up like chatting to each other in some capacity. And then, yeah, myself and Rory just get on very well and have a lot in common. And he's a good man, and we, straight away just hit it off. And then, yeah, anytime we were in the same city, maybe he'd be playing a competition somewhere and I was doing a tour or something, we'd bump into each other, go for a few drinks, maybe play a bit of golf or something. But yeah, I think it just kind of happened organically through a friend of mine, and that was it.
Do you have a favorite memory or Rory story to share?
I don't know if you want me to tell this. We were up in Toronto at the same time one year, and I was doing a show, and then we went, me and a few of our mates, and Rory went out for a few drinks, and then we were doing, after a few drinks, we were doing golf lessons in the hotel room. Right elbow, right pocket, this was his swing tip for me, which, funnily enough, I still think about now. Yeah, we've had some good times over the years and some golf lessons in odd places.
He'll help you out. You ever help him sing?
He can't sing at all. He's terrible.
Did you see his karaoke? You didn't like it?
I seen it. God loves a trier. You know?
Very fair.
He probably thinks the same about my golf. So,
Yeah.
Maybe I should give it up too.
So besides him, what players do you know best?
Know best on the team?
Or any golfer?
Any golfer. On Boston Common, I know Adam Scott quite well.
All right.
Justin Rose is a good friend of mine, and he lived next door to Adam Scott for a while, so I know Adam quite well, and Adam's the best. He's such a great guy. I obviously know some of the younger guys as well, like JT and Jordan a little bit, just to say hello to and stuff like that. But yeah, I know quite a few of the boys to say hello to out there on tour, and Obviously, I know Tyrrell Hatton. I work very close with him on a daily basis. But yeah, I know quite a few of the guys. But we have such like different schedules that it's hard to like, and we live in different places and
Right.
stuff like that. That it's hard to like be really close. But Rory's probably
It's your
Rory's
best.
probably my closest friend in it. Yeah.
Have you met Tiger?
So I caddied for Rory at the par 3 competition at Augusta about 10 years ago, and as I put my overalls on, Rory was like, "There's Tiger down there. Do you want to go and say hello? Have you met him?" I was like, "Yes, I do." And straight away I was like so nervous. It was unbelievable. Nearly shit myself. Like he's been such like an icon to way beyond golf, transcends the game for so long, and just walking up to the guy, I don't really get like starstruck per se, but when you meet icons like that, I was like really nervous.
I was
And
going to ask, yeah.
Yeah, and he was really nice. Like he couldn't have been nicer. He like completely made me feel at ease. Yeah, and just stood around for a couple of minutes watching him hit balls, and it was just mind blowing. As a golf nerd like me, it was mind blowing stuff. Yeah.
Do you remember who you played with in the par 3?
Morgan Hoffman,
Oh, yeah.
who's a great guy. He's kind of getting back into the game now after his difficult time, but great man. He just won the USAM and he was playing with Rory at the par 3, and it was a big day for him and his family too. And we were all just excited. It's such an excitable thing to be around, the Masters and the par 3 competition.
How did Rory ask you to do it, or did you ask him?
No, he texted me saying, like, "You're coming to the Masters this year." It was my first Masters, and then he just texted me asking me, did I want to caddy for him? And I was just like, "Yeah, please,
Yeah.
that'd be great." And I got stung by his caddy. They were like filling the bag up. Like Rory hit like 3 clubs in the bag the whole day, and they filled up his full tour bag like with bottles of water at the bottom, made it as heavy as I possibly could.
Because you took a spill, right?
Yeah, I fell out. I don't want to talk about it.
It's because it was so heavy? Well,
My-
now we can clear the air because I always thought it was a small bag.
My ego hurts. Anyway, this ice cream's nice.
That actually makes sense, though.
It was
that
humongous. It was afterwards when we got back to the clubhouse and it started pulling bottles out.
Oh my gosh.
Also, if you've been to Augusta National, you know
Yeah.
they have pine straw everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous place. It's like an ice rink out there.
Right. You basically go now every year, right?
Yeah, I've been so lucky to been invited back, and I've done a lot of work with Augusta National and performed for the ladies amateur
Yep.
last year for all the girls at the Workman's Place kind of hospitality area. And I've been so lucky to go back there every year. It's probably the only place that I've ever been where I genuinely feel the same way about it as I did the first time. Like I walk through the gate, we go through the gates on Magnolia Lane and get goosebumps every time I see it. It's just like there's a magic to it there's nothing like it elsewhere.
You mentioned Berkman's Place, but is there a certain place like that you like to hang out on the course? Like, where's your favorite watching spot?
I love at the 12 tee box is amazing. The bend at 13, looking down at the green is pretty incredible. 6th green is somewhere that I spent a lot of time during this Masters.
Really?
Just gone. Sat down, I got one of those little green chairs that someone had left, and I just sat there for a couple of hours watching some of the players come in, because it's one of the harder holes in the course, and you've got an amazing view of the ball from looking up at the tee box and where you are in the green. I like that. I also like 10. I could go on about it.
Yeah, they're all great. Do you find that you're kind of, I imagine when you go out in public, people come up to you all the time. Do you find you're left alone a little bit more at Augusta?
It's probably, it's an amazing thing about it. I'm a big fan of the no phone thing at Augusta. It's amazing watching people really enjoy themselves, and not like, you'll see some people will be like looking for their phone every now and then, but it's amazing to see that many people just completely in the moment, you know, in those surroundings, watching the best players in the game. Like, there's something really special about watching people just enjoy a moment these days. We get to see it rarely now. Everyone has their phones out for everything.
Yeah.
So to see that at Augusta, and it be probably the only place that does it in our sport anyway. Yeah, it's pretty special, and I get to walk around freely. It's great.
We talked about playing, you know, with lessons from Rory and stuff. Are there other celebrities or performers that you have played golf with?
Yeah, I've played with quite a few actually. I played in JP McManus's Pro-Am in Ireland last year, and I played with a good friend of mine, Jamie Dornan.
Mm-hmm.
And we played with Bill Murray.
How was that?
It was the funniest 2 days I've ever had on the golf course. He is hilarious. He's like the people's champion. All age ranges love him. He's the best. Me and Jamie just spent 2 days just laughing our heads off at him. We had some great times with him. We just sat in the bar at the hotel and had a few Guinnesses, and it was really nice to sit with such a lovely man who's also a massive icon. I met Justin Timberlake through Justin Rose.
Mm-hmm.
They're good friends, and I play in LA. I play a bit of golf with JT, and he's another great guy and an unbelievable golfer.
Yeah.
He's probably the best, for the want of a better phrase, celebrity.
In the celeb circuit.
In the celeb circuit, he's definitely is. Maybe Steph Curry probably beats him to it, but I haven't played with Steph, so I don't know.
What was the first professional tournament you attended? Do you remember?
When I was like 10, I went to watch the European Open, which was at the K Club in Ireland. I remember watching the G-Mac and Michael Campbell and Retief Goosen, Darren Clark, Harrington, McGinley, that kind of era.
Yeah.
And just being obsessed with it. And that was like the first golf tournament. And then I didn't go to a golf tournament for a long time, but it was probably like, what did I go to after that? It'd be such a shame if I said the Masters.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
My
My sister's first pro one, I think, was the Masters.
Really?
No, she went to waste management. So she's seen all sides of the spectrum.
Wow.
Yeah. But like from here to here, she went. So.
Yeah, I brought my girlfriend to her first competition was the Open Championship.
Oh my God.
And now we go to like smaller events, and she's like, what happened? What happened to the hospitality?
Yeah.
It's gotten smaller. But yeah, no, I love going to golf events. Like there's, especially in the States, like there's so much going on outside of the golf. I've been to the waste management. That's
nuts.
wow.
What's your favorite?
I think there's a golf tournament going on there somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, right. I've seen you at the Genesis. That's my favorite event to cover besides the Masters. What's your favorite one to attend besides the majors?
I do like the Genesis.
So good.
Yeah, that golf course is insane. It's a good patrons golf course. You get a good view of a lot of holes.
Mm-hmm.
And the crowds the crowd seems like more of a golfing crowd. It's not as loose as some of the other places.
Yeah.
But yeah, and just Riviera, the whole thing around it. I live partly in LA, so it's not far from the house as well. So it's good, and it's a good time for like me to see people like Rory, and we like go for dinner and things like that, because it's rare that we get to spend a week, together or whatever.
So you're on tour now. Tell me like your golf schedule fitting that into tour. You were saying it's different when you're in the US. So how does that all work out?
It's so exciting. To most of my job is booked around golf because I work in the game. But like for instance, if you'll notice early this year, there was a massive gap at the start of April in my touring schedule because I go to the Masters. And then this summer now I've like scheduled it where I can, on my days off, I'm in good cities for golf, if you like. And luckily enough, I know quite a few of the boys on tour. So if they're from a city or whatever, or maybe they've won there or something, I can play some of these really cool courses. So I'm going to try and line up. I want to play Sawgrass while I'm in Florida because I've always wanted to play it. And just kind of make my way across the country and hopefully bump into some. Probably every other day I'm going to be trying to play.
Really?
Probably at least 2 to 3 times a week if I can.
What's the best city for 2-in-1, golf and your concerts?
Wow. Boston, to be honest.
Where have you
Boston,
played?
Chicago.
In Boston.
And LA probably, I would say. Or
Yeah.
Boston Golf, is it? Boston Golf Club?
Brookline, the country club.
Boston Country Club?
Yep.
Brookline, TPC Boston.
Yep.
There's loads.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
I actually think that where my concert is in Boston is right next door to TPC Boston, so I'll be having a look into that. There's some good, obviously LA, you've got so many good ones in LA. New York's a little bit harder because you have to get outside of the city. Chicago's a good one with Medina, and Chicago Country Club and places like that. So I'm excited to get out on the road now. Do gigs.
Yep.
That's the reason I'm here. I can't wait to do some gigs because it's been 6 years since I've toured the States. So I'm looking forward to like getting back into it, and it's such a good experience. But if I can, I'm going to try and play as much golf as I possibly can.
Yeah, and then my last one is a 3-part kind of question. I ask usually golfers this, but if you can think of your golf career, I guess I'd ask for a low moment, a high moment, and something that you've learned.
Wow. Something I've learned, I've been very lucky to have had the boys on the end of the phone where I can send them videos of my crap swing, and then they give me, like, I've learned a lot from those guys. Like, I had an amazing lesson off Rosie one time, which was really good. Some of those moments that we're talking about with Rory, I've learned a bit there with them, definitely with my golf swing. Then high moment would be, I just played, so lucky to play Old Head in Ireland last weekend.
Yeah.
And I shot my best round ever.
What'd you shoot?
I shot 4 over.
Ooh.
And it was because I got Old Head on the most still day of all time and didn't blow 1 mile an hour wind. And my low moment is probably most weeks. Yeah, it's just like there's nothing more disheartening than hitting the worst shot ever.
Yeah.
Being able to back it up is another story. Yeah, I've been very lucky that the game of golf has just like given me so much. Like over the years I've been able to get better at it, first of all, which is a good thing. And it's just taught me so much more, like in life, just like patience and you know, just being a nice guy, because it's a gentleman's game, if you like, and yeah, it just taught me a lot. You know, gave me a lot of freedom when I was you know, at my busiest. I was able to get out of hotels and stuff and go and play the game, you know, behind the gates, and it's given me a lot, the game. I could talk about it forever.
Yeah.
It's a sport that I love so much, and yeah, it's given me a lot. It's given me a new career as well, which is great.
Gotten you an interview on this.
I mean, look at this. It's giving me cookie dough ice cream. It's giving me you. It's giving me it all.
Perfect. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was great. Thanks for watching The Scoop. I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button because we have a lot of fun guests coming your way.